Both grandpappies drank, mama didn't, and I still became a goddamn drunk. Goddamn, what's the look in a degenerate? We're going to talk about what the disease of family dysfunction. Today, it's August 14th, and the reading's on your screen right now. Wow, August 14th, disease of alcoholism. If your parents did not drink, your grandparents may have drank and passed on the disease of family dysfunction to your parents. If alcohol or drugs were not a problem, your home may have been chaotic, unsafe, and lacking nurture like many alcoholic homes. Big Red Book, page 18. Great! Granny did it to Mom, and Mom did it to us. What chance do we have of being able to get well? Even though this was passed down through the generations until it finally got to us, and perhaps to our children and grandchildren, who do we blame? Can we really blame Mom or Granny or even Great Granny? Indeed, none of them intended to pass this baggage down to us, but here it is, ours to unpack. Fortunately, we have the best chance of them all to do something about it. Today, we have a much better understanding of the multi-generational nature of trauma transmission, and this understanding is constantly evolving. We are fortunate to be part of a wonderful human experiment to reverse the effects of generational family dysfunction and achieve emotional sobriety. Like most experiments, we start with the premise that we can build a life of stability, safety, and nurturing. As we toil in the laboratory of our lives and recovery, we find just the right mixture of experience, analysis, and spiritual principles, and issue daily progress reports to our fellow travelers and our higher power. Affirmation. On this day, I will note the progress I have made in finding my emotional balance and give myself the privilege of believing I can and will recover. Copyright 2013 by Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families, World Service Organization. Man, my shit goes all the way back, man. I've done some genealogy research. I've traced this alcoholism, skeletons in the closet, abuse. I can trace for sure the first signs of family abuse on my father's side all the way back to my great great grandmother and her interaction with her son, my great grandfather. Never met any of these people. This would have been my dad's grandfather, George Byard. He had to be adopted by his uncle because, as the story goes, this is in Western Kentucky, a real redneck son of a bitch place. Forgive me if you're from there, but my family is too, and they got fucked up. So there's a lot of alcoholism, dirt poor farmers, tobacco farmers, dirt farmers, and we had some shit going on. So George gets adopted by his uncle because he was getting his ass beat by his stepfather, James Stone at that time, which was his mother's new husband. So George has to be put up for adoption so that James Stone doesn't wind up killing the poor kid. Still don't even know who the fuck his dad was. So we got all kinds of shit stemming from this part of the family. That all gets passed down. The alcoholism, the violence, the abuse, the war, PTSD shit, everybody becoming war heroes and getting fucked up in the process. All the way down to me and my brothers, to my father, of course, from his dad, from his mom, his stepdad, whatever. And it just goes on and on. Shit rolls downhill. On my mom's side, Grandpappy, as I said, my grandfather, drank. It didn't really get out of hand. I know he drank regularly, but then my grandmother didn't drink at all, but she had the disease of alcoholism passed down to her from her. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but this stuff goes all the way back. I've traced it. All you got to do is go into step 1 in your workbook, your steps workbook for your Big Red Book, your ACA. And all you got to do is go down in there and trace it all back and write your little pedigree, man. And I just farted, and I love it. I was going to do it louder just so you guys could hear, but you can't. Too bad you can't smell. It smells great. That's the true self there, see. Anyway, I digress, huh? I'm going back into the subject now. So go in there, do your pedigree, write it all down, get it on paper, look to see who was pretty fucked up, who had some stuff going on, who was the freaking the pedophile, who was the sex addict, who was the gambler, who was the hypochondriac. I've got all these people in there. The alcoholics, the para-alcoholics, the codependents, the violent ones, the sick ones, the lazy ones, the covert narcissists, the overt narcissists. Whew. I mean, it's just sick all the way back. You shake that tree, a bunch of shit just falls right. Grudges fall out, man. Grudges. Like that movie, The Grudge. Just fall out. Looking to just get somebody, target somebody, haunt for life. Because this stuff just doesn't go away, people. It's a multi-generational disease. It's a disease. Family dysfunction is a disease. It's multi-generational. It's progressive. It's irreversible. I mean, it's uncurable, except with the solution is a higher power, a spiritual awakening. And it's progressive and it's terminal. It's fatal. Okay. So over any considerable period of time, we get worse, never better. Once an adult child, always an adult child. We have to treat this. We have a daily reprieve, just like the big book of AA tells us. Okay. Remember, this is all if your parents don't even drink. Grandparents didn't even drink. You just had a lack of nurturing, an invalidating home, a shaming home. I had an alcoholic father who never admitted to it, but beat us around nonetheless. And I had a shaming mother who didn't drink, but her family did on that side, and she just got, just picked up all the shit, all the isms I self-me's. And it is what it is. But I'm dealing with it today, one day at a time. I'm grateful I'm here in the program, and I'm going to keep continuing to try to do better and use all the tools at my disposal. So I wanted to pass that on to you. I can relate greatly. It is multi-generational. It's in mind. And my brothers and I are working on trying to get out of this stuff. Hopefully my mother is too, and maybe other people in my family, cousins or whatever. But we all got scarred. We all got spiritually sick and fucked up because of it. And now we got to spend the rest of our lives unbecoming who we were told to be, because we learned it from sick people. Okay. And we can do it. It can be done. So I encourage you to keep going. Keep track of the progress you make. When you feel down and you're not making any progress, remember, you're doing great. So I admire you all. I love you the best. And until next time, see you later.